You know, we all have that one person in church. The one host always on fire for God, always praying, always showing up. For us, that was me, Sister Faith. I inspired many, encouraged others, led with passion. But lately, something changed. I stopped coming around, stopped posting, stopped shining, and while everyone whispered, no one really asked what happened to Sis Faith. This series, it's not just about me. It's about many of us. The silent battles, the quiet questions, the faith we're sometimes afraid to talk about. Welcome to What Happened to Sister Faith, a Christian Chronicles series that will open your eyes and touch your heart. Remain blessed and do well to like, comment, and subscribe.
The Lies of the 21st Century. A short story on sexual purity, misinformation, and godly wisdom. Ada sat stiffly on the cold hospital chair, hands clenched in her lap as the pain twisted deep within her. Dr. Kelvin scanned her chart, then glanced up with a clinical detachment. "You've had these painful cramps for how many years?" Ada shifted, wincing. "Since I started menstruating, but they've gotten worse lately. Some months I can't even go to work." Dr. Kelvin put the file down and folded his hands. "You've tried everything, painkillers, diet changes, herbal teas." She nodded. "Nothing works for me." "Well," he said, tilting his head thoughtfully, "do you want to know what really helps?" Her eyes widened with hope. "Yes, please." "Sex." Ada blinked, unsure she heard him correctly. "Once you become sexually active," he continued, "your hormones start to balance out. It often reduces period pain and gets rid of it altogether." But I'm not married," she said. Dr. Kelvin shrugged. "I'm just giving you the scientific truth. Do with it what you want." That night, Ada couldn't sleep. Her body throbbed with pain, but her mind was louder. She tossed and turned, Dr. Kelvin's words echoing again and again. At 2 a.m., she grabbed her phone and opened social media. The posts weren't comforting, they were very confusing. "Sex is therapy. Your body, your rules. Why suffer when there is an easy solution?" Ada swallowed hard. Is this the answer? Is this what I've been missing? The next day, Ada met her best friend Nkechi at a cafe. They sat in a quiet corner sipping drinks. Ada hesitated, then leaned in. "Nkechi, something happened yesterday. The doctor told me sex could stop my cramps." Nkechi didn't flinch. "Honestly, I've heard that too. Some influencers I follow say that periods became way easier once they started sleeping with their boyfriends." Ada's voice wavered. But I'm a Christian. I've been keeping myself. Is this how it ends?" Nkechi shrugged. "Ada, sometimes we may hold on to purity and still suffer. Maybe God understands. You won't be the first or the last." Ada looked down, conflicted. "I just don't want to compromise." Her friend smiled slightly. "Girl, it's not that deep. Maybe it's time to stop being so uptight. Just live a little." Ada sat in silence. Her soul felt heavy. Later that week, she found herself in a quiet room with soft worship music playing in the background. Sister Faith, her mentor, greeted her with warm concern. "Ada, your eyes are tired and your spirit is heavy. Talk to me." Tears welled up in Ada's eyes. "I went to the hospital. The doctor said the only thing that can stop my period pain is sex. Now I'm so confused." Sister Faith paused, then spoke gently. "My dear, do you know what happened when Eve listened to the wrong voice? She lost Eden." Pain doesn't justify disobedience. But what if it's true? Ada asked. What if it actually works? Even if it works for some, Sister Faith said, is it worth the guilt, the spiritual compromise, the soul ties that comes with it? Ada bowed her head. The weight of her decision loomed large. Later, Sister Faith shared something Ada hadn't expected. A story from her own past. She remembered being a young woman, sitting in a hospital as a doctor told her the same thing Ada had just heard. She had been tempted deeply, but instead of giving in, she chose to pray. Eventually, God led her to healing, not through sin, but through surrender. Her testimony resonated with Ada. Hope came in the form of a referral. Dr. Oluchi, a Christian gynecologist, welcomed Ada into her office, a space adorned with gentle scriptures and warmth. This menorrhea is real, Ada, Dr. Oluchi explained, but God hasn't left us without help. There are options, diet adjustments, hormonal therapy, heat pads, and sometimes surgery. But sex before marriage, that's not a solution. That's a trap. So sex isn't the only cure, Ada asked. Dr. Oluchi smiled. Absolutely not. That is a dangerous lie. The world wants shortcuts, but we walk by truth, not by trends. One evening, Ada attended the young girls' Bible study. Sister Faith stood at the front, speaking boldly as young women filled the room. The 21st century offers many lies, she began. Lies like just do it, it's your body. Virginity is outdated, sex heals pain, but sex outside marriage is not medicine, it's a wound in disguise. A girl stood in front, raised her hand. What if I'm already in a sexual relationship? Then, today is your day of resurrection, Sister Faith replied. God forgives. Purity isn't about your past, it's about your next decision. Another young lady, teary-eyed, spoke. I thought sex was love, but it only left me broken. You are not used goods, Sister Faith said tenderly. You are still God's masterpiece. In the crowd, Nkechi sat silently. Something inside her stirred. That night, at a church service, Ada walked slowly to the altar. Her heart was raw, but ready. She knelt, tears flowing freely. Sister Faith joined her, laying hands on her shoulder. Lord, she prayed, thank you for Ada. She chose your truth over man's wisdom. Give her peace. Give her healing. Give her boldness to speak truth to her generation. Nkechi followed moments later, tears streaming down her cheeks. One by one, other young women joined them at the altar. Weeks passed. Ada launched her blog, Pain Without Compromise. Nkechi began volunteering with the youth ministry. Sister Faith organized the purity retreat for young girls. We believed the lie, Ada's blog read, but the truth set us free. Months later, the Daughters of Zion conference gathered in full force. The church hall buzzed with excitement. A banner stretched across the stage, Daughters of Zion rising in truth. Ada stepped up to the podium radiant and confident. A few months ago, she began. I almost gave away something priceless because of pain, pressure, and a lie. I was told sex could cure my menstrual pain, but God used that moment to draw me closer to Him. She paused, her voice softened. I have learned that the sexual urge is not a sin. God created sex, but He created it for the covenant of marriage. Pain doesn't mean God has abandoned you, and purity is not outdated. It is protected by God's love. She looked over out at the crowd of young women. Don't let the world tell you what to do with your body. You belong to a God who heals, who speaks truth, and who still honors purity. Applause thundered through the hall. Sister Faith stepped forward and wrapped Ada in a proud embrace. Worship music played softly and the atmosphere brimmed with hope. On the screen behind them, a verse appeared. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John chapter 8, verse 32.